Mitchell Dow Biminetam Sokombre is my name. And of course, in case you're joining the program, this is the NigerDelta Chatroom show, where we talk peace and development in the Niger Delta. And today is going to be another wonderful moment on television. We'll be talking about peace, development, and human life, capital development on the show. This is the NigerDelta Chatroom show, where we'll talk peace and development. And of course, Mitchell Dow Biminetam Sokombre is my name. And today on the hot seat to talk peace and development in the Niger Delta, I have an international NGO, Mission Africa International USA, the right here with me to talk more on their NGO and saving lives in Africa. Join me as I introduce to you the president and founder of the Mission Africa USA right here with me, Mr. Victor Jacbo and Chief Kimberly Steele. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Okay, let me start with Mr. Victor. So tell us more about Mission Africa organization.
Well, Mission Africa was started in 2007.
Okay.
Actually, after being gone from Nigeria for over 20 years.
Okay.
After I came back and I came to my community, and I realized that the needs of the community are so great, and we needed to do something to help in making a difference, to make an impact in the community.
Okay. Okay, so Chief Kimberly Steele, the American Nigerian. So you are a chief in Africa now.
Yes, I
Precisely the Okbe region.
Yes.
So how do you feel being a chief in Africa?
I feel very honored. I feel very honored to be accepted into the Okbe Kingdom, which is where we do much of our work here on the ground.
So let me go talk to you. The Mission Africa. So why do you choose Africa for your humanitarian services?
Well, about 7 years ago is when I was approached by Mission Africa. And in my past, it's always been about families and children. And when I was approached about what Mission Africa was all about, I saw a video and seeing kind of the devastation on the ground with the schools, the conditions of the schools, and the children. It was very difficult for them to learn. There were no textbooks.
Okay.
There was no running water, and so it pulled at my heartstrings, and I wanted to be part of it.
Okay. Mr. Vito, can you expatiate more on your catchment areas in touching life?
Basically, we, Mission Africa, focus on 3 areas.
Okay.
Healthcare, education, and community development.
Okay.
So when it comes to healthcare, we bring doctors, nurses from the United States to do a week-long outreach program, including doing surgeries, free surgeries for the local people. We just finished our second medical outreach in Saple just a couple of weeks ago now. We did over 69 surgeries.
Wow.
And also we have an outreach for medical outreach whereby we touch over 300 persons just to help the community so that we know that healthcare is number one. Then education, bringing hope to the children, making sure that they have the resources they need to have a better education. So we support schools with clean water, toilets, textbooks. Then the economic development, this is the area we are working on to develop, to work with communities, to see what we can do to create economy in the communities.
Oh.
Because we feel that when the community has economy, then they can support themselves.
Okay. So now let me take you a little bit backward. When exactly did you start your operations in Africa, precisely?
Well, I came here in 2007.
Okay.
So that's when we came and did an exploratory, focus just to see. Because when I came 20 years after being away, we thought that there's so much to be done here, but we need to be more specific on what we can do. So in 2007 we came, then we started just giving textbooks,
okay,
and clean
textbooks,
water.
back to school.
Back to school.
Back to school. Okay.
Yes.
So I think my viewers who want to know where Mr. Victor Japo is from, first and foremost, can you tell us where specifically are you from in Nigeria?
Well, I grew up in Sapele.
Okay.
You know, I'm a Safarian. You know? And so I went to my elementary school there and went to James Welch Grammar School for my secondary school. And after that, I left and went to the United States for my university education. I was in the United States for about 20 years before I decided to come back and to my community. And felt that
there's something unique about the Mission Africa, most especially with Mr. Victor and Chief Kimberly Steele. I think in Nigerian, I will just call you Nigerian now. I think African chief. You see, in Africa, there's this phenomenon. The Nigerians, the Africans, they carry the funds from Africa to Europe and America. But we're surprised that Mr. Victor is bringing America to Africa. It's a twist.
It is a twist.
You understand?
It is a twist.
So it's amazing. So I think that is something that is really, really touching. So let's go to the funding area. How do you fund these great operations, education, community development?
We, in the U.S., we really focus on fundraising efforts, meeting with organizations, with individuals that have compassion and passion for helping others.
Okay. And did you specify Africa in your bidding for?
Absolutely.
Okay.
They know exactly where we are. They know from the U.S. What our focus is, what our desires are, and we have so many people that are there on the ground willing to support our efforts.
Okay. Now, Mr. Victor, what are some of the challenges in carrying out these humanitarian services in Africa?
Well, I think the biggest challenge is insecurity.
Okay.
Because as somebody that brings Americans to come and support the community here, when they find out that there's a lot of kidnapping, there's a lot of robbery, insecurity in the communities, it gives them a second thought if they want to risk their life to go to a place that are not secure. Because most of them have family, children, and so they have to think about their home family too. But I think that's the biggest one. Another challenges is really trying to find partners on the ground here who are willing to be a partner, a financial partner, to look at their own community and say, yes, this is something we can do together, as a partnership.
Okay, so what you're saying, if you're going to touch life, give back to society or a community, you need to have partnership with individuals in the community.
Absolutely.
Okay, is it financial partnership or security and everything?
Both.
It could be financial, it could be logistic, it could be security, whatever it takes, whatever somebody has to contribute. Because when we are coming here with people from the United States, doctors, nurses, individuals that just want to come and support, even before they come, they already contributed financially to the mission.
Okay.
So they pay their way to come down here. So if we can have partners here that are willing to say, okay, we can support you in one way or the other. It doesn't have to be financial. Okay. It could be just being part of the mission. To volunteer.
So I want you to just look at the cameras at least, because this part is very, very essential, because as many persons will be watching now, they would want Mission Africa to come to touch life in their communities. So what exactly should the communities or the government or the royal fathers, the politicians, what should they do so that Mission Africa to come there to their community to touch, give back to society in there? So just look and expatiate more on that.
Well, I think the first thing is to have good stakeholders in the community.
Okay.
Community leaders who care about their community first and foremost, to say that these are the needs of our community. When it comes to healthcare, when it comes to education, economic development, then we can sit down together and plot an avenue of how we can help that community, and to see how they can support to make sure that there's security within that community. I think with that we can able to move forward. Yes.
So, since you guys have been coming to touch life and give back to society in education, health, and community development, have you been having any support from traditional rulers? Most especially in Saple, you've been doing a lot of work in Saple, and I also saw you people some times ago, you did medical service alongside with His Royal Majesty, the Oluofori. Yes. Can you expand more on that?
I feel that what we do is really from the grassroots.
Okay.
And so to work with the grassroots, you have to work with the king or the Olu of that community.
Okay, the traditional ruler.
Traditional ruler of that community, because they have a better grasp of what the challenges are in that community. So we've worked with the king, His Royal Highness, the Oroje one of the Okpa Kingdom, the Obi of Jesse Kingdom. We've met with the Obi of Ugara Kingdom, the East Royal, the Olu of Wari. So basically, if we want to work with the community, we want to be able to start with the
partnership with the traditional ruler.
Okay. Then work our way up.
Okay. All right, I'll tell you that this is the NigerDelta Chatroom Show, where we talk peace and development in the Niger Delta. On the outset, talking development and human capital development, I have the president and founder of the Mission Africa International USA, Mr. Victor Japo, and Chief Kimberly Steele. At least it's been a very wonderful thing having this lovely international NGO on the show, because Africa needs support and assistance medically, health-wise, and education. Let me go back to Kimberly Steele.
Yes, we just started 2 years ago. We have a women's literacy group that we had started. And so this past weekend, we just celebrated year 1 and year 2 recipients of the program. And so just being part of that, seeing the testimonies and the lives that have been changed.
Do you get them trained in skills?
We get them trained in education.
Okay, education.
So we're teaching them writing, math, etiquette. We kind of give them a well-rounded part of their education piece so that they can move themselves forward. Some of them have only gone possibly to primary 6. Some of them hardly went to school. And so I feel like it's really important for us as Mission Africa to help build the self-esteem in the women there on the ground.
Okay. So let me now take you, how would you say the government of Africa in giving back to the society? Do you think the African government, do you think they'll be actually playing a good role in taking care of their citizens since you'll be coming to Africa?
I feel like there could be more done.
Okay.
I feel honestly that the need is so great. And I think sometimes because of the great needs and all of the challenges on the ground, it becomes difficult to know where to start. We, as a small NGO, felt like we can find these small areas and these small needs and start small and try to change lives.
Okay, now let me go to Mr. Victor. Now let's talk about the Niger Delta, because your catchment area has been on the Niger Delta. Now, have you been to any riverine community?
We've been to Big Worry.
Okay.
Yeah, we haven't gone above
outside Delta.
Outside Delta.
Okay.
Yeah, because we work with. We've been to Oboro.
Okay.
Mostly in the river in the Delta area.
Okay.
Yeah, but not outside. But,
okay.
As we grow our NGO, hopefully.
More partnership with other part of the Niger Delta.
Delta.
Because why I do ask, there are a lot of persons in the riverine communities that need basic health care, education, and community development. I'm talking about the Ijos, the Shekiris, the Urobos that are in the riverine creeks of the Niger Delta. I think that is why I say, because these your NGO, the people really need your support in terms of that. Like Victor said, for Mission Africa, coming to a community must have a partnership with the traditional stool there, so that they can always bring the most needed individuals for that empowerment. So let me go to Victor. In what area do you think that you would need government to partner with Mission Africa to
I think mostly in the area of insecurity in the community. First of all, when it comes to economic development, that's so important, because no business wants to come into a community if they feel that there's no security within that community. Also, when it comes to the environment, how inviting and easy to do business in that area. So I think the government, when it comes to taxes, different type of supports that the government can give to make it easier for people to come into the community to do what they want to do when it comes to business, to make a difference in that community.
Okay. Now let's go to the healthcare area. In the numbers of producing the numbers to the community, or you just come with a specific number to touch that number lives of those persons?
No, actually, when we come in, we start with assessments. And so we use a town crier, we use the banners to promote the surgeons coming into town and what surgeries they are able to do. And so from that point on, they are able to come in, the doctors and the nurses on the ground will make an assessment on whether or not they can do the particular surgery that is needed. So what they do is they start from morning and they will go until 6 o'clock in the evening, depending on the type of surgery, the difficulty with the surgery.
Service.
At this point, we don't do major because we
So
are
what are the areas of operations you take care of?
We do lipomas, we do hernias, we do breast biopsies, different things like that.
Appendix?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
But you guys carry out eye care services too?
At this point, not yet.
Okay.
Because as we're able to bring, because a lot of times it depends on people that are available in the U.S.
Okay.
As we're able to bring different type of specialties with us, then we can able to offer those other services. Yeah. Hopefully next time we'll be coming with maybe a gynecologist to do more of women type of surgeries and stuff like that. Yeah.
Development. As a Sapele boy, you've been out of the Nigerian coast for 20, 30 something years. In coming back to Sapele and Delta, how do you, what's the level? Is Sapele developed?
Well, we can make Sapele great again.
Okay.
And we have a group called the Sapele Memories that are trying to make that happen right now, but we are just in the preliminary stage.
Okay.
We feel that Sapele used to be number 2 in this country after Lagos, so we want to go back to that number 2 road.
Number 2 road.
So we're still working on that.
Okay, now let's talk about the Delta State. How do you say? Do you think Delta State is developed compared to the amount of wealth that is being owned by the state?
Oh, like I said,
you've been visiting states and cities.
Like Chief said, the challenge is so big when it comes to a state like this. The amount of people, the government is trying the best, but like I said, the more we know more, the more we can do more. So I hope that the new administration with the new governor will do more for the state. And there's always room for progress. Okay. So I hope that we can continue to make a bigger progress.
All right, I'll tell you that this is the NigerDelta Chatroom show, and we'll talk peace and development and human capital development. And on the hot seat, talking development of the Niger Delta and the Nigeria at large is the international NGO Mission Africa International USA. I have here the president and the founder. We have Mr. Victor Jakpo and Chief Kimberly Steele. They're on the hot seat for your community to be part of, to enjoy the benefit of Mission African services. at least your traditional ruler and some able, well-to-do community members must partner with them in terms of some areas, which I will allow him to talk that again so that you can always get us, so that when Mission Africa services is needed in community to save some of the lives, talking about healthcare, educational, and community development, you will always know the procedure so that they can come with their entourage. So before I let you go, Mr. Victor and our Nigerian chief. So what do you like? You'll be coming to Nigeria and your husband is Nigerian.
Yes.
So how do you say the country Nigeria? You like it?
I love it.
Okay.
I love coming to Nigeria. The people on the ground are very kind. They're very polite, respectful. I feel like I'm coming home.
Okay.
Yes.
So, this is your trip you just came now,
Uh-huh.
and you'll be leaving, and you fix your time periodically to visit.
Mhm.
So when are we expecting you again?
To come back again.
Yes.
We are, as we head back to the U.S., we have to speak with our partners on the ground there to make a determination on when we will be returning to do additional health care. Because we have to work with them and their schedules, as soon as we know,
Okay.
we can certainly let you know.
Okay, because I would really want you guys to come to our communities and also visit the Ijaw community areas, carry out community development and the educational services and this health care. So, Mr. Victor, what would be your final word to people watching you, and so that they can receive more of Mission African life-touching services?
Well, first of all, I just want to thank all the partners we had here
Okay.
when we did our medical mission in Sapele, and our hospital where we performed the surgery, and also the central hospital where we did the outreach. The doctors and the staffs there, they were very awesome. But on the other hand, I feel that having people that are receptive, who wants to help in when it comes to a community to help us in the area of logistics,
Okay.
security, and also accommodation, because most of the doctors and nurses that we are bringing from the U.S., they are paying 100% their way to come to Nigeria,
Okay.
and also taking time from their work. Those that are work, some of them are retired. So we just need a friendly environment,
Okay.
and just look forward to help our people here.
Okay.
It's been a beautiful time together.
I think this before I wrap up all of our exclusive interview. I think I noticed that Mission Africa will be standing on the award stage in Bayelsa to receive award and Prima for your humanitarian services in Africa. How do you feel being nominated for award for your services?
We feel very honored and we definitely would love to accept the award. We know that the people that are on the ground here in Nigeria definitely appreciate all that we can come and do. Sometimes we feel like it's very overwhelming, but if we can just take small steps to help a few and change a few lives, we're doing something. So thank you for honoring us with an award.
All right, thank you very much for being on the show. May God continue to strengthen and make resources available so that you can continue to carry out these your humanitarian life-touching services. Thank you very much. My guest has been the founder and president of Mission Africa International USA, an international NGO that is a major focus is helping and saving lives in Africa in the area of education, health, and community development. My name is Michel Dao Bimenetam Sokumbre. Next week, another guest will be on the show to talk peace and development and human capital development. Bye-bye, and do have a pleasant night rest.